Today we review, I guess it's a good thing it's light, the Skechers Razor XS.
Change your mind, change your life.
Welcome into another edition of Running with James. If you're new to the channel, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and as always, make sure you hit that bell to get notifications on all things Running with James. So today we're going to give you our full review of the Skechers Razor XS. And I will tell you right now, I don't think there's really anything too excessive about this shoe, because it's lightweight and it feels really good. And so, as usual, we're gonna start with the upper. We'll work our way to the midsole and then give you some information about the outsole as well, talk about our likes and our dislikes and everything in between. All right, guys, so starting with the upper. So the upper is made up of what Skechers is calling their mono mesh upper. You know, it reminds me quite a bit a lot. If you've ever seen the original, the first version of that Vaporfly, Next Percent, it kind of reminds me of that material. So it's extremely light. You know, obviously it is see-through, and it is very, very breathable. Now, I will say there's not a lot of stretch in it, but the shoe has a pretty good fit. So I found that there was no hot spots or anything like that in the forefoot, which is usually where I get my hot spots, right around my little pinky toe. It had fairly good lockdown in the heel. Now, if you look at this heel counter, the heel counter actually has a little bit of rigidity to it. So it's not like a lot of the lighter weight shoes where it just kind of folds in. And so was able to get a good lockdown, didn't have any kind of slippage or anything. It's a fairly lightly padded heel collar. It has an unattached tongue though. I don't know how many times I gotta say this, but I love an attached tongue. And so when they don't attach a tongue, it's like automatically like, meh. So it's an unpadded tongue. So it's just a piece of material, and you do kind of have to pull on it to make sure that it doesn't get bunched up when it's on your toe or around your foot, but still not really any issues, not major issues. I will say that the laces, I did kind of have to cinch up the laces. You can actually see it's already tied a little bit, but I did have to cinch the laces up a little bit because I did find it was a little bit maybe sloppy would be the word, right around the arches, right around the arch of my foot, around the top of my foot. But when I cinched it down, wasn't really any issues. Don't feel like I'm sliding. So you can run in this shoe. Obviously, it's a running shoe. But I work out in the shoe quite a bit as well, which I do a lot of lateral movements, a lot of jumps and things of that nature. And because of the wide base and because of the non-stretchability of this upper, I actually do really like this shoe even when I'm working out. So all in all, I'd say I'm a fan of the upper of the Skechers Razor XS. They didn't put speed all the way across it, so I'm a real fan of that. All right, so moving down to the midsole. Now this is Skechers Hyper Burst midsole. You guys know, if you've seen any of my videos on Skechers, I love the Hyper Burst. The Hyper Burst is legit. It's lightweight, it's bouncy, it's comfortable, and oftentimes you kind of forget it's even underfoot. Now the great thing about what they've done with the XS, as opposed to like say the Razor 3 or the Razor Plus, is they've just added more of the Hyper Burst. So they got excessive with the Hyper Burst, right? I guess that's the point of it, right? And so it has a 30 millimeter stack height in the heel, 26 millimeter in the forefoot, so it gives about a 4 millimeter drop. But with the Hyper Burst underneath, you don't feel that kind of lower drop. So, you know, usually I don't like anything that's too much lower than like say a 6 millimeter, but I really dig this shoe because I feel like this Hyper Burst is extremely forgiving. They also have their Hyper Arc, they're calling, which is basically just like a rocker that allows this kind of help you get smoother through your gait cycle. So everybody's kind of doing this now, but I really like the way they've done it on this one. So if you like the Razor 3 or you like the Razor Plus, honestly, you're gonna probably really like the midsole in this shoe because I feel like they give you more of it. They give you a bigger base and you get the springiness of the Hyper Burst, but you also get just a little extra padding for when you want to do those longer miles. All right, moving on to the outsole. It's their Goodyear rubber. It's what they're using on pretty much all of their performance brand shoes. So it's got good good grip pretty much anywhere, wet, dry, whatever. I mean, on gravel, it's gravel, gravel slips. It's not a trail shoe, guys, but felt like the rubber's really good. You know, nothing to write home about, but Goodyear rubber, you like the name, you like the tires, you'll probably love the outsole. All right, so what is our verdict for the Skechers Razor XS? Well, if you haven't already figured it out, I like this shoe. In fact, I would go so far to say that I love this shoe. Anytime I'm going somewhere, whether I'm going to the gym just for the day to do training or coach individuals, I'm probably putting this shoe on. Pretty much this is kind of like on Garmin when you put your default shoe on, this is my default shoe because pretty much this is the shoe that I'm spending a lot of my time in. Especially on the easier, slower days. You can pick up the pace. I've taken it to the track before. At least every other week I'll take it to the track to work on some speed work, do bleachers, whatever it may be. So it's a really versatile shoe. I think that's what really helps this shoe will help this shoe be more successful, is that with that added hyperburst, right, with that lightweight. So I think for men's size 9, it's coming in at 7 ounces, so that's light, man. It feels extremely light underfoot, and it feels extremely light in hand as well. So for my men's size 10.5, it comes in right around 8 ounces or so. So that's light. That's really light, especially for a daily trainer. So this can be a daily trainer. You can do long runs in this shoe. You can pick up the pace. It's got the speed, and you feel like you want to go faster when you put this shoe on. So I'm definitely a fan of that midsole. And so for us, I would say that this is just going to be a good all-around shoe. Now, at $140, the problem is going to be with that big S on there, right? So Skechers, right? People still have this kind of like this negative connotation that Skechers can't make a good shoe. So, why am I going to even spend any money on it? But at $140, it might be a little bit higher than maybe what most people would pay for a Skechers. But if they would make this shoe in all black, I'd buy another pair tomorrow. So I really like this shoe. I'm not a huge fan of the colorway. I mean, it's not that I don't like the colorway, but I like to be stylish. I like to look good, and there's not a ton of things I can wear this with all the time, Skechers. So I need some more variety. They do have a really cool high-vis yellow one, but that's it so far. But it's fairly new, so that's probably why. But Skechers, make a black one, like just straight black, like call it the Razor XS Ninja version or something. I don't know, but tight, yo. I would never take the shoe off, literally. So I'm a big fan of this, and so for us, the Skechers Razor XS is a must-have. All right, guys, that is it for our review of the Skechers Razor XS. I hope you liked it. I hope you learned something from it. If you did, please make sure that you do give us a thumbs up, share it with the people that you love, because you always share things you love with people that you love, right? So thanks for coming in today, guys. Remember to subscribe to the channel. We love it when you come in. Let us know, have you tried any of the Skechers products before? Have you tried the Razor 3, maybe the Razor Plus? Maybe you tried some of their other performance brands? Have you maybe tried the XS, right? So I had a friend of mine that tried the shoe that I tried to convince him, dude, you gotta get your feet on these. You gotta try them, for the Razor 3, and he just would not listen to me. He watched somebody else's YouTube channel and then went and bought them. Ridiculous. But he tried them, he loved them, he's like, dude, you were right. So I got these, tried them on, loved them, told him to get them. He's already copped them, right? So he's enjoying them. So let us know, are you enjoying the Skechers products? Do you like the Razor or the XS? What's your favorite Skechers shoe out there? Why don't you comment down below? We'd love to hear about it. Thanks, guys, once again for coming in. Remember, when you change your mind, change your life.